All right, troops, welcome to the Actually. My name is Owen. Well, I can't believe there's 6 people watching already. That's like 6 more than usual. But anyway, guys, how are you?
What's going on, brother?
Hello.
So thank you for joining us, Charlie. I know you got to work at some point. Are you joining us for the full thing, or are you going to be some point?
Nope, I'm here for the full thing. I busted ass and got my ass over here. So.
Boy, right, attaboy. So
such determination. Oh, see, he does that to get on the and then you got to diss him like that.
Bring it. It's fine. I got liquid courage in this bad boy tonight, Jay. Man, we're fine.
Yeah.
Why
is it me? Owen can do the same thing.
Because you made it. You made it.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is what I have to put up with every Wednesday. I don't understand.
The problem is, J-Man, is that whenever Owen tries to hit somebody, he curses, so he gives himself away, whereas you don't.
Exactly, and I don't know these my way around technology. Also, welcome to Brennan, who doesn't normally show up to live streams. But there's probably 2 reasons why he did show up. We'll just welcome them in. As promised, here is Amanda and Ansett.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. That was not me.
Did you enjoy it? There you are. They're just coming up to super slow. Oh, man. There we are. Right, stop drinking.
Wow. Okay, I see how it is.
Oh, man. John, you're on life.
Who's that? Oh, it's Elise.
That's you. Where's Elise?
It's under. She's like, oh, Jonathan's here. I'm like, who's Jonathan? And it says it's Elise on the chat. Come on.
Oh, Jonathan, check. Hey, Elise, how are you?
Joe Dog's
here.
Welcome
to everybody who's watching tonight.
Jonathan, thank you.
Wow, where are you people every other week? Oh.
You called it all.
So tonight we're going to be talking. I know we're going back to 1992 to discuss Batman Returns, and I remember seeing that in the theater whenever it came out. I actually saw Batman as well, showing my age. But I remember whenever I first saw it, and Amanda will not be happy with this, but I did not love it the first time I saw it. I remember coming out because it was like so different to Batman, like just tonally and visually and everything. I was like, oh, wow, what's this? And I was like, why is Batman a supporting character in his own movie? Because it really sort of, Catwoman and Penguin, the movie, with Batman sometimes showing up, which I can feel Amanda's eyes right now. She's just like, okay. But I still thoroughly enjoyed it. Visually stunning. I think that it's probably Danny Elfman's best ever score. I think the music is fantastic. I particularly love the music in the opening credits. I love the Penguins theme because it's the music that really is a character in itself, because you genuinely care about the Penguin, even though he's like a piece of shit. Like whenever he dies at the end, spoiler alert, you actually do. You are kind of sad. Yeah, it's like Amanda tears up every time.
No, I actually cried.
That's not crying. That's angry.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's so sad.
But it is. But I do thoroughly enjoy it. I love Christopher Walken in it as well as Max Schreck. Now, wasn't that the character name? Was that not from Nosferatu, the actor who played
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah. Remember that? There's a bit of trivia. Now, but Amanda's got some trivia later, don't you, for this movie?
Yeah, I had some stuff. Like
we'll get to that later on.
Batman return trivia to each other every now and then.
Stuff off his sleeve.
Okay. So we'll get to that. Wolverine's still a bit. Oh, there's Wolverine. Good, Amanda. You didn't scare him off after shouting at him the other day.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And the last thing I just want to say is that we brought this up in a stream before, where I said so many modern comic movies are like set in the real world and they go for gritty realism and everything. I like the fact that this is very much a fantasy world, particularly Batman Returns. I think it just looks like it takes place in another world, just with amazing visuals and everything, and the Penguin's lair and all. I just absolutely love all that, and I think that's what makes it unique, is that it just stands out visually and with the music and everything from so many other like boring superhero movies we get now that are a bit bland. But anyway, that's all I will say. So I'm going to go on to John first of all. Don't worry, girl.
With me tonight. You never.
Yeah, you get to start tonight. You're not going last. Yeah.
F you. Anyway, so here's the deal. Okay, so I saw Batman, the first one, like 5 times in the movie theater, and then I saw this one time. So that pretty much I'm like you, Owen. I did not love this movie when I first saw it. I still do not love this movie. I like it. It's Batman. I mean, yeah, and then right in your eyes. Oh my God, what are you gonna? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, give it to you. Throw the glass. But like I said, it's like I'm a Batman fan. Like Michael Keaton doesn't show like. What was it? 25 minutes. You know, I get it. You know, Danny DeVito does a great job. You know, he's a villain, but again, you know, Tim Burton makes you sympathize with him, you know, because of, you know, what happened to him in his life and everything. You know, he is a scumbag, but he's a scumbag for a reason. Michelle Pfeiffer rocks it as Catwoman. I thought, you know, I find it funny that, like, because I remember when this movie came out in the theater, like, you know, McDonald's was selling Happy Meals and stuff like that. It's not really a kid's movie. I mean, if you watch this movie, I'm like, there's nothing really kiddie about this movie except for the fact that Batman came from a comic book. But and here's the thing. Okay, so like the first Batman, like, you know, of course, Tim Burton didn't want to do a sequel to this one. So like, if you think about it, you know, because I read how he didn't want to do a sequel. So there's not really a lot from the first one, you know, aside from the characters. You got Pat Hingle, you know, showing up again. But other than him talking about Vicky Vale for a little bit, there's nothing that relates this to the first one, which is kind of cool if you think about it. And I don't know. Like I said, I watched it again yesterday. I mean, it's just terms of pacing and everything. You know, I was looking at my phone. I was like checking on things on the website and stuff like that. I just don't get into this movie as much as I do with the other ones. Great performances, visually striking. I mean, Michael Keaton kicks ass as Batman. I mean, like I said, The Flash was a mess, but, you know, Michael Keaton rocked it as Batman in that movie too. He'll forever be my favorite Batman. But I mean, I guess you could compare this movie as like the Empire Strikes Back of the Batman films, you know, because like, of course, it's the second movie like Empire Strikes Back was, and it's so down and depressing. You know, because it is. I mean, there's a lot going on psychologically with this movie, and I get it. And I guess I just like didn't like how like Tim Burton, like it kind of looks like Edward Scissorhands, you know, another movie that, you know, he did around that time and everything. But I don't really have a lot to say about the movie. And again, the ending is like I was expecting more of a bombastic ending. You know, it was cool with him on, you know, flying through the sewers and everything, and the Penguins were cool with the rockets. But I don't gravitate towards this one like I do the other Batman films. Like I said, it's nothing against the performances. Like, they're all awesome in it. Like I said, Michelle Pfeiffer, my God, she wasn't even the first pick to be Catwoman. It just goes to show you how things work out in the end, you know.
Yeah, Annette Bening was. Yeah.
Yes, and then she got pregnant, and then she had to drop out. And talking about her wearing the suit, they vacuum sealed her into the suit. I mean, can you imagine that? It's like, that doesn't sound like it's very comfortable. But, you know, to be in that outfit and still do what she did was awesome. But like I said, like in terms of the first two movies, I mean, the first one is just like, it's chef's kiss for me. And this one, it's just like, yep, I like it. I mean, it's good. It's got great performances, but I'm a Batman fan. And I want to, like, it's like, if people say, oh, Batman's not as interesting as the villains. You can make Batman interesting as the villains if you do things with
Steve Batman Begins.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's like, I think they were just like, okay, we have Danny DeVito, we have Michelle Pfeiffer, like, let's have, like, they're so out of control, and like, and you know, and they're crazy and everything. And it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, Batman is here. I was like, oh yeah, Michael Keaton, hey, how you doing? You know, it's like, and I always hold it against that for, you know, them dissing Batman, because I think it's kind of a diss, you know, like making him a secondary character, like you mentioned, Owen. So I'm going to shut up now because I'm sure I said things that everybody, you know, is going to hate. So I'll just sit here at the bottom and just take it all in. Yeah, I got you, J-Man. All right. Okay, rock on.
Okay, I'm going to put you on to Amanda next. So now, this whole stream was your idea.
Wonderful. Great. Okay.
Yeah, because she was like, you know, let's do a live stream about Batman Returns. And I was like, all right, you know what? It's a Christmas movie. The way Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
No, it really is. Yeah.
Oh no, it is a set of Christmas. The last line is "Merry Christmas to all men and women." You know. So,
I agree that like Batman doesn't feel like the main character, but I think all the other elements just make the movie amazing. Everything from costumes, makeup, music. Like you said, Owen, in the beginning, that it doesn't feel like the typical Gotham. It feels like a fantasy type of vibe, which like that's what I was lured to. And just their performance. Like, he's obviously my favorite Batman. I loved him in Batman 1989 as well, and in this one. And Michelle Pfeiffer, she's my favorite actress, so I'm a little biased, but she is Catwoman.
Yeah.
Like, she was second pick, but she is Catwoman. Her interactions with all the characters, she's just so seductive. And I don't know, like, there's parts of her that make me angry in the movie as well. But you can't help but like not fall in love with her, I feel. And what did we say today, Owen, that it was like a weird romance film?
Oh yeah, tragic romance.
Yeah, you know, and it's I don't know, there's just so many favorite parts that I love about it. I have the soundtrack on my phone. Like, I'm literally a fan when it comes to Batman Returns, so I can't I don't know, I'm biased when it comes to it. It's just my favorite movie. I watch it once or twice a month.
Yeah.
I watch it all the time.
It was like all the time. Yeah. You know, I mean, I watch it around Christmas. I have to watch it like this time of year. So I recently got it on 4K. It's probably one of the best looking 4Ks I've ever seen. Like, the quality is really good. I know, was it Jay or Stephen, one of you mentioned that Batman and Robin looks amazing in 4K?
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, Batman and Robin's the damn best on 4K.
Yeah.
That was my test. I tested it with 4K and a 4K player, Blu-ray and a 4K player, upscaling, and Blu-ray and a Blu-ray player all on a 65-inch 4K TV. And Batman and Robin is the best one for sure, easy.
Tonight's forecast, a freeze is coming. I love that. It's the most quotable Batman movie. If you think about it, like, everything Arnie says is quotable in it.
That is and mostly Arnold Schwarzenegger is quotable. And then some of the other
yeah, like Poison Ivy's kind of terrible in it, unfortunately. Like, Uma Thurman's awful in that movie. It's like,
oh my god, I have an Uma Thurman Poison Ivy poster off screen. I'm very upset. I'm gonna have to dismantle everybody on here as we go. I can only make notes on what I gotta destroy you guys on.
Yeah.
Right?
So so actually, Amanda, what do you think? Because we discussed this before, the idea that this is, and I remember at the time, or maybe I'm drunk and I misremembered it, but wasn't it seen as sort of a bit of a feminist sort of call to arms as well, because sort of about equal rights, whatever, and because she's treated like garbage by like Max Schreck, her boss, and she just sort of hides away from everybody, and then it's sort of empowering, but you're kind of not sure where her character is going. She just was really unstable, and there isn't really like a direction she's going. She's just kind of nuts. So I'm sort of like, what's her goal in this movie? And like, okay, so she wants to kill Batman and kill Shrek, then what? So yeah, she's just kind of
crazy. We don't know what the end game is with her. And like, when you were saying the whole thing about it being feminist, like, I think if it would outline her. Like, she wouldn't have to go through so much. You know, like Penguin tries to kill her, like everyone tries to kill her, you know, and but
she still keeps coming back.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I don't think it was very feminist in that sense, because then maybe she would have been kicking their ass instead, right? Like, coming on top.
Well, that's more modern feminism, which we won't get into
exactly.
here, where it's like, it's
nowadays it wouldn't fly.
Yeah, exactly. But okay. So, right, Brennan, I think this is the first time you've ever been on here, so welcome to you. So what do you think of Batman Returns?
Sorry, I spaced out. What are we talking about? Batman?
Barbed wire.
I love Barbed Wire. It's a Casablanca remake.
Yeah.
Which is very no, it literally is.
I know.
No, it literally is. Yeah.
I laugh every time you say it.
No, Batman. No, this is a really great movie, actually. I think in terms of a sequel, it really hits a lot of nails right on the head. It takes what's really good in the first movie, adds another enemy. It builds upon the world and just brings everything together. It's not just a rehash of the first movie. So I think in that respect, it really does a really great job of bringing new, fresh ideas into the film. Like you guys said, the casting, absolutely amazing. Everyone does their job absolutely perfectly. Danny DeVito is the perfect Penguin. He's such a friggin' slime ball, and he bites that guy's nose, and like, oh man, it's so brutal. Not as old as the rest of I'm not as old as the rest of the geezers here that friggin' saw this movie in theaters. So I was unfortunately relegated to VHS, but yeah, it's actually a really great movie. I watch it at least once a year. Absolutely incredible. Can't really say anything negative too much about it. It's just a really fun film, and again, builds upon 89, and just it's a fun ride.
Okay, I was reading up. Can you bring that back up?
I'm just acknowledging them.
Okay. Yeah. See with that scene there, when you showed the GIF a minute ago with Catwoman, whenever she says, "I'm Catwoman, hear me roar," isn't that Scorpio is ready from Predator 2?
That is Scorpio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like slashes at his face. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
that is
yeah. Branscombe Richmond is one of the clowns as well. I only realized that this time, which is kind of cool.
Jones.
Yeah, and Doug Jones too. Yeah.
So therefore, Catwoman can beat the Scorpio as well. She could.
Yeah. So which means she could probably put up a fight against the Predator. Nice.
I'm not sure about that one, but.
Are we talking about the Prey Predator? Because I don't know who couldn't if he can beat himself.
I could beat the Prey Predator.
No, back when the franchise was good. Okay, so Antoinette. Welcome to your first ever live stream. So now this is your first ever watch of Batman Returns. So I'm definitely interested to hear what are your thoughts on it, because we haven't discussed it today.
Yeah, it was my first time watching it, and I loved it, honestly. I do agree with you with the fact that I feel like Batman was a secondary character, but I feel like the star of the show for me was Michelle Pfeiffer. Like, Amanda really hyped her up, and she like lived up to all the hype. I feel like her transitioning from like a really like shy, timid character in the beginning, and then like just her being like
mentally
so
unstable,
just like so badass.
episode,
towards the end, like I loved it. Like I love that scene where she literally was like cutting out her costume and then just turned into Catwoman. And I just feel like everyone was so allured by her. Yeah, no, it was great. I feel like. Yeah, Penguin. I loved Penguin too.
And it was sad, the ending scene, no?
Yeah.
With the real midgets bringing them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's midgets and yeah. Are we allowed to call them that anymore?
No,
I know. That's what I was about to say.
Ewoks.
Little people or dwarves is fine. We are not demonetized or whatever, so it's fine.
We're not monetized, so you can say whatever.
Oh, then there is that.
So we can say whatever we want.
Yeah, so we can call them Oompa Loompas or whatever. Yeah, but yeah. So who's next? Steve.
I didn't see this in the theater.
So, that is shocking. That's not a fake reaction. That's not a show reaction.
Bogey? No, I didn't see
really?
it in the theater. I did not see it in the theater. We saw a trailer for it before on one of the VHSs, and my mother took one look at the Penguin, and she's like, no. And I'm like,
wow, shocking.
Yeah, that was it. Right? I wasn't old enough to have any control over that. I liked the movie when I first saw it. Eventually, I was disappointed in the Penguin character initially. Reason why is because Penguin is my second favorite of the Batman Rogues Gallery. So making him an animal was not what I wanted. And unlike 89 Joker or 89 Batman, where Joker, I don't care about the Joker, which is probably a hot take in today's day and age where everyone loves the Joker. I don't love the Joker. I love the Penguin, and I love the Riddler from the comic books. Watching it now, obviously very different. The Penguin character has been accepted in culture, and Batman and Robin. What was it? The New Adventures of Batman and Robin, the animated one. We did get the animal penguin. That was the second.
He's like a hybrid. Yeah. He's still Cobblepot and wants to be a rich aristocrat, but he has the webs.
He has the flippers and all that.
So it's a bit weird.
Yeah. So, obviously now I appreciate it a lot more. The fantasy element is really good call out because I was in Chicago and I was on the river tour, and they're like, hey, if you look over there, there's the post office from Dark Knight, right? Where you had the beginning where they had the whole heist thing and, the clowns and all that.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I shouldn't be able to see Gotham City in the real world, in my opinion. So I was really happy to get back into the Batman Returns world. Batman Returns is a better Tim Burton movie than Batman 89. Batman 89, he didn't have control. You can tell he didn't have control. Batman Returns is a much better Tim Burton movie than 89 Batman. 89 Batman is still one of my favorite movies of all time, but Batman Returns is really good. I love all the villains. I actually like Max Schreck a lot. And the reason why I like Max Schreck is because he doesn't have a sympathetic backstory. He's just a bastard. And I like that. I like he's just a old-fashioned villain. I didn't expect anything from Christopher Walken when he came in. So like the fact that he did so well was shocking because, Danny DeVito looks unique. Catwoman looks unique. Max Schreck's the guy. Like I didn't expect anything from him. One thing that hasn't been mentioned yet, which I'm surprised at, is how good the score is. This score is amazing.
I said so.
Oh, you said it. Sorry. This score is better than 89. I know.
Oh, it is. It's my favorite ever Batman.
The score's fantastic. Yeah.
The score's fantastic. And I like it better because unlike 89 Batman, where you're just following, you're following the symbol. This one, you're actually following him into the sewer, which I think is better. Not surprised that Catwoman doesn't have a backstory because this was actually written by the dude who wrote Heathers. And if you watch Heathers, it's a very nihilistic movie. This movie's can be nihilistic. They actually had to add the subplot in about Penguin doing all that stuff at the end with the children and that because didn't have that. Guy also wrote Hudson Hawk, so he hates audiences, obviously. What else am I going to say about this? Yeah, I don't like Hudson Hawk at all. Michelle Pfeiffer is awesome. R.I.P. Jim Abrams, absolutely Zaz. Yeah. I think the movie is great now. It's a 10 out of 10 movie for me. It's exactly what Tim Burton wanted, and that's all you can say about it. Like if it's the filmmaker's vision, then you can't really complain about it. It's when the studio comes in and interrupts that it starts to get screwed up. And even though Sean could not be with us tonight, and no, he's not dead, unlike you guys. Yelled me on
this is a running joke, by the way, girls.
Yeah, I spoke to him today. He's alive.
We think board.
How do you know for sure with AI these days?
I was gonna say, is it did someone?
Did you FaceTime him?
I actually met him.
Well,
and
physically,
he didn't turn into a Terminator, so I think that's pretty much. It's probably Sean. Plus, he had a whole bunch of facts. So if you know Sean, it's a facts thing. This movie was one of the first movies that started the sort of attack on violence and sex in movies. They had Happy Meals for this movie, and people freaked out. There was a kid going around in like TV shows, like freaking out, like talking about it, and people were losing their minds. It was over Batman Returns, which is the oddest thing ever. Because if you think back to the 80s, all the friggin' violent movies, Gremlins and Ghostbusters,
Temple of Doom, the guy's heart gets ripped out.
Exactly, geared to kids. But Batman Returns was the straw that broke the camel's back. Shocking.
Was it PG-14?
PG-13, yeah.
13.
Oh, 14. It's 14 in Canada, isn't it? And it's 13.
Yeah, 14A is what
yeah.
Indiana Jones here was PG. That's what that and Gremlins is what started the whole PG-13.
Temple PG-13 is the new grade that they introduced for Gremlins and Temple of Doom as a fake thing or whatever. Because like before that it was just PG, now it's PG-13. Like what does that mean? Oh, if you're 13 you're good. I mean, I don't know, right? Like,
I don't understand. I don't think the kids would know like the sexual reference jokes.
No, I thought there was stuff for adults as well.
Definitely.
There's a lot
Looking
of
back at it now is completely different. I get the jokes now as an adult. I never did as a kid.
Groping people. It's not about touching people. It's about groping people. So you got a button on there.
Wear a button. You're like, wow.
Wear a button.
And what I realized
is so creepy.
What I realized is that I quote this movie constantly, not even thinking about it. I've done 4 or 5, Still Alive, 6, 7, All Good Girls Go Down. I say that all the time. In the office, I say, a gallon, you gave a pint of blood, I want gallons. Like I say, I quote Catwoman all the time, shockingly. I don't know why. But very quotable film. It obviously stayed with me. Awesome film.
Excellent. Thanks, Steve. Charlie.
Me. So my history, I didn't actually get to go watch these in theaters. Not close to theaters. And they were expensive. So it was a special occasion to go. So I missed both of these. It was later on when I was older and I could go on my own. I watched the others. But as soon as they hit VHS, there was no renting them. Mom and Dad bought them for me. So I had Batman 89. I lived it, breathed it. It was Batman forever. I just went and watched it in theater like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, for the first time to see it in full big screen and just fell in love with it again. Batman Returns, my parents bought it for me and we all watched it for family night. And yeah, there was a lot of adult shit and dark stuff. And my mom hated that movie growing up. But I already owned it. I liked it. I think I watched it almost as much as the first one. I don't think I understood a lot of it. I mean, it was a little shocking to see Batman literally blow someone up with dynamite. You know, even now when I watch it, I'm like, yep, he still blows that motherfucker up with dynamite. He gone.
He's happy about it. He smiles.
Yeah, he smiles. Exactly.
I hate clowns too. So maybe there's a little bit that goes there. But this one just, like you said, it's one of Tim Burton's masterpieces. This just it exudes Tim Burton all through the movie. Giant rubber duckies. The Batmobile gets turned into a remote control car, which I always thought was fucking fascinating. I wanted the one the penguin's inside of, you know, bouncing up and down, driving it around.
Like he made that specifically just for that instance. Like, let me
just for that.
Yeah.
No, that's also in 66 Batman. But anyway,
is it? I have.
Well, he takes control of the Batmobile in an episode, and he also does the mayor thing.
Yeah,
I know the mayor thing. I watched those in syndication at my grandma, so I wouldn't get to see all of them. So I would only catch certain episodes, and I haven't rewatched them since. But my favorite thing, and it's been brought up in the chat already, in any Batman movie other than the later ones, like Christopher Nolan's and the new JLA's, the Batmobile is my favorite character in every single fucking Batman movie.
And this is the best one.
Facts. This is the best.
This is the best one. As much as I love the lights in Batman Forever and how it lit up and it was cool, this is my favorite. I am surrounded by probably 100 Batmobiles. There's 2 or 3 behind my head. That is my favorite character, period. So anytime I get to see it and all the cool things they do, I am always down. The Bat boat in this was okay. It was all right, you know, going into the sewers. But, you know, I don't have any complaints about this one. It's just fucking dark. I think the only thing I've ever, even as an adult watching it going, is, does Catwoman have powers in this universe? Or is she just lucky? Or, like, he gives reasons why she survives almost every instance other than the electrocution at the end. Unless someone wants to say she grounded herself or some dumb shit.
That is what she did.
Yeah.
Did she ground herself? Okay. But, you know, she falls from the building the first time, falls through the canopies. It slows her down. She lands.
Right.
Cats lick her. Then she falls in kitty litter. Then she gets hit, you know, a lot of shit happens to this woman that would take out anyone else.
Shot multiple times.
Just shot like.
But it's in the side and whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, this is bad sometimes. It's like get shot.
Like I get the empowerment part that she got from it, but it's also like, did she get a superpowerment or whatever it is? But I don't know. I don't complain about it. I love Michelle Pfeiffer, Danny DeVito. I watched the 66, but this is my Penguin up until Batman the Animated Series when I started watching that and seeing that was a really cool Penguin looking character in the cartoon, and I liked him a lot better than any of the live action iterations of him. But yeah, Batman Returns, I watch it all the time, but I watch all of the first 4 Batmans constantly. I actually love Batman Forever. The neon and the look of that.
I love Batman Forever.
Yeah, I like Val. You know, freaking Michael Keaton is my Batman.
Yeah. No, the worst Batman is George Clooney. Like, George Clooney is terrible as Batman because, like, he doesn't even pretend with a voice or anything.
He's a good
It's just George Clooney. Yeah, good Bruce Wayne, shitty Batman.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing the Adam West style with that movie, right? That's a tribute.
They weighed heavy. Yeah. They weighed heavy on the Adam West. I want the Batman MasterCard. That's what I'm always.
Yeah.
Expiration date forever.
Yeah,
exactly. But like I said, I have no complaints. I love Rocket Penguins. I love all that stuff, man. And the rubber duck that he floats down through the thing. It's just visually, it's impactful. And you when you see it on TV, I always stop and I watch it. So I'm kind of with Steven, man. There's no complaint. It's like a 10 out of 10 for the Batman. So is 89 for me because that is my Batman movie. I was 9, watched it at 10. I was the perfect age for 89. and yet somehow was still too young for Batman Returns.
Well, it's such a different movie, which is the thing.
Yeah.
It was like I almost like turned this on like when all the kids were up and everything. So I was like, it's Batman. And then I watched it in the office the other day, just had it in the background, and I heard Danny DeVito yell "pussy," and then all this other stuff. I'm like, what is happening? And so I was like, yeah, maybe I'll watch it all the way through later after they go to bed. So I was glad they did. But that's me. I love Batman Returns, but 89 is still my favorite.
Yeah, Penguin's actual like master plan is really sadistic when you like really. He wants to abduct the firstborn like male chickens of like the entire city. Like that's fucking crazy, man. That's really
biblical, sir.
Yeah, that he wants to destroy like destroy heritage.
You have to think though, like they had to come up with that on the fly. Like the original
and then he also
thing was
dies of that one. He like tries to put his tongue back in.
They were supposed to find a treasure. Like it was Catwoman and Penguin were looking for a treasure in Wayne Manor, and Penguin.
Oh yeah, that was the original.
That was the original.
That they wanted.
And Penguin had birds as weapons. He was throwing birds as weapons.
Throwing pigeons at people and ravens.
And Owen, we talked about it today too, that they wanted to introduce the Robin character in
Marlon Wayans. I was like, yeah, I'm glad.
I remember that. Yeah,
they did it in the comic Batman '89, which I then stopped collecting when they did that.
Well,
shout out to Slasher Fred, who's coming up with some great trivia here.
I've been reading everything he's popped up.
I know. I'm like, dude, you're far too interesting. Where was there something you said a minute ago?
That Oswald and Max were siblings.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah,
that'd be a fail.
Yeah.
No, I like you said what you said. The Max character. I like Max more in this because how quickly Jack Palance got knocked out in the first movie. You get more of this like other bad guy in Returns, and it's Christopher Walken. I'll watch him do. I'll watch Christopher Walken walk. Okay, that's how much I will watch Christopher Walken.
You liked his character too, right? Yeah, she liked him as the bad guy.
Interesting side note, my great uncle discovered Christopher Walken. Noel Willman, his name was. I think I've mentioned him before. I know Steve and Jay, I told you about him before. He was in like Hammer horror movies, like Kiss of the Vampire and The Reptile, and he was in Dr. Zhivago, The Odessa Files, John White, and he gave Christopher Walken his first big theater role. And ended up getting discovered at that theater. So there you go. It's kind of a big deal. So it's definitely in my blood, all that stuff. So it's kind of cool.
There you go.
Damn it, there was something in Slasher was going on. I'll go for this. Jay, you talk shite while I have a look here.
Yeah, Jay, tell us why we're all wrong.
Yeah, well, anyone who said the people who said this was 10 out of 10 are right, and the other people are wrong. No, obviously I love this movie. Penguin's my favorite villain. This is not the Penguin from the comics. This is not the Catwoman from the comics. She's not even a cat burglar, really. No. Batman is not in it as much as you would, I guess, want Batman in it. He's not really solving anything. It's that guy.
Yeah,
that's Penguin. He's the guy. Okay, there you go. He controls the Red Triangle Gang. There you go. Do him.
Kind of useless as Pat Pattinson.
Yeah, really. Well, he still solved it. Robert Pattinson didn't solve it at all. This movie is a Tim Burton Batman movie. The first movie was a Tim Burton collaboration with other people Batman movie, which made it more comic book accurate, but so it's more accessible. This is less accessible, but it's mostly fantasy come to life. Each character is the animal they're playing. Yep. It's the bat, the cat, the penguin. Batman is like sleeping, and even in part one, he's like upside down. Catwoman licks herself and cleans herself. Like the cat burglar Catwoman wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like Penguin's a penguin. Like his interpretation is that he's not just a guy. We call him Penguin because he wears the penguin suit, which is the tails and the hat and all that. It's like he is a penguin. So all of these characters are who they are. Max Schreck is what Penguin would have been had he grown up with the Cobblepots as an aristocrat, but he's still evil. Penguin was always evil. He was evil from the beginning. And a lot of great things that are foreshadowed in this movie that are done better in this movie than the first. Like, for example, right in the beginning, when Penguin's in his little bird cage or in his little cage, he grabs the cat and kills it. That's the first thing he does, which is foreshadowing that he's not going to really get along with Catwoman. He also has the rubber ducky as his little play toy, which is why it's his vehicle later. There's all these little things that they've thrown in there, and it's just so cool. But yeah, like the characters are all actual animals. So Batman, like Bruce Wayne, does nothing. He just waits around for the bat signal to be called. So people are saying he doesn't do a lot in the movie, but that's sort of the point. The point is that he doesn't care about being Bruce Wayne. He waits around for a call to action to be Batman. When you see him in his Bruce Wayne life where he's dealing with Max Schreck, he's goofy. He's a bit goofy and he's a bit more funny. He's a bit more relaxed. And you're like, okay, like it's just weird. And Catwoman doesn't care about her job. Obviously, her job sucks, so she doesn't care about her job anyways. And she's a loser. These people are losers until they become what they're meant to become, which is the animal, right?
Yeah.
So
the real
that's
them is
really
when they put the mask on.
The mask on is the right. So actually, when he removes the mask at the end, that was actually wrong. Like he actually is Batman. Like his skin is Batman. Even when she's looking for him, it's like they connect better as Batman and Catwoman almost than they do in there as Selena and Thingy. Also, I love Selena where she breaks. It says hello there, and it ends up saying hell here. Yeah. I love that. That's great.
But like a long time for me to realize. It was like till I saw it on widescreen that I went, does that say hell here?
Yeah, hell here. Yeah, that is so neat.
Never saw it on my little TV as a kid. I was like, that's cool. It's broke shit. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, the score is great. I saw this in the theater. I saw every Batman movie in the theater, including the Adam West one when they replayed it. I did not see Mask of the Phantasm though. That did not play very long.
Well, it's just too bad because it's one of the best. It's an amazing movie.
Yeah, that's a great movie. So I'm not going to show every Batman thing I have. I'll show. I've got every penguin there is, but I've got this penguin. And I showed you the little one with the. How do I lure them in? I picked the cute one.
Yeah, man.
And then he spits out and all that. Catwoman using the whip is cool. Having it as a tail is cool. Like making it her tail is kind of neat.
I like that side.
The look of it is so awesome. Like the first one is more comic accurate to what Batman is, except Batman does kill in the first one, and Joker's not as friggin' didn't kill his parents. I was even as a kid in the theater, I was like, that didn't happen. I don't think that happened. So that's Joe kill, wasn't it? Yeah. Yes, at least when they gave it an origin, it was. Prior to that, it was just like killed in the alley.
I know it was like a few years before they actually came up with it. Yeah,
it was unknown, which is almost better to just leave it as a random killing. You know,
correct.
You don't need a backstory to the killer.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yes. He's supposed to be against all crime, and random crime in Gotham City is what he's against, not Joe Chill specifically.
Yep.
And then they put that saying, well, he's now part of like the Falcone stuff. I'm like, why are you doing this? I don't know. But I love this movie. I think it's a better movie than the first Batman, but maybe not a better Batman representation because this is a fantasy. It's not really the Penguin.
That's fair.
It's kind of weird. I know parents were upset. I had all the McDonald's toys. I had a T-shirt of every character from that movie, which I also had a T-shirt of every character in Batman Forever. I bought all the toys that came out, the Batmobile, all that stuff. So I loved this movie. I've watched it a million times. I've memorized it. I memorized this one and the first one. I mean, there's so much. I mean, I'm just going through my notes. Like, there's like tons of stuff to talk about. But like, these people. I can't take it. There's all this weirdness in it. Well, whatever. It's a fantasy. Like this Catwoman took a lot of damage. A Catwoman took 0 damage compared to any action star in the 80s. If Catwoman's damage was taken by Schwarzenegger or Stallone or anyone else, it'd be like, well, whatever. He got shot a couple of times. He fell off the thing. Who cares? Nobody would even question it. And the fact is, hey, Andrew, what's going on, buddy? I haven't seen you in a while, man. We're gonna do that Doctor Who stream sometime. Yeah, never. Like if Schwarzenegger would have taken this damage, it'd be like, oh, okay, like he just walked it off. Catwoman, these are fantastical characters. They're animal people, right? Yeah. Even the poodle lady, he didn't even stop with just the bat, the cat, the penguin. The poodle woman is in there. Organ Grinder, what's his name? Chiavelli with the thing. He's like,
Vincent Chiavelli.
Yeah. Vincent Chiavelli.
The monkey. Yep.
Yeah, he expanded it to like every character is like sort of this animal. I love that you're going to scare the Ice Princess. She looked pretty scared to me.
Pretty scared to me.
that was great. And she was awesomely stupid. It's like, okay, the tree lights up and then I push the button. No. Okay, I push the button and then the tree lights up.
How about that?
How about that? she even like every little bit character is pretty funny, like in their own way. I love that the poodle captures the batarang, and it's like that's his undoing because they actually that's the murder weapon, and they yep. that. I love the eggs and tomatoes. Bringing them to a speech.
Yeah, why does someone always bring to?
Yeah, they were prepared, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess someone always brings an umbrella gun to a speech too because he starts shooting after that. Oh, Penguin, I'm on to you. Like, I don't know. I love this movie. I have zero issues with the pacing. When there's not action going on, there's beautiful visuals, so I don't feel bored. Like my mind is always like sort of looking at what's going on and paying attention to something in the movie. And I think there's rewatchability. Because plot-driven movies don't have much rewatchability because once you know the plot, it's over. This is like a fantasy and it's like thematic. So those movies are a bit more rewatchable in general, right? Like you watch a mystery movie, you're like, okay, I know the killer. I might not watch it again, even if it's a good mystery. But this one doesn't have the mystery parts of Batman, but it has just the cool characters. And like, everybody has a neat interaction. Like I like Penguin talking to Batman. I like Penguin talking to Catwoman. I like Catwoman with Batman. They did a good job of integrating them all. I don't think they did that well in Batman Forever or really Batman and Robin. I think those movies are the lesser movies. I still like both of them a lot.
Right.
But it doesn't capture that, like those interactions as well as this movie.
The interaction between Bruce and Selena when they're in their regular.
That's great stuff.
I love every bit of that.
Touching their scars and all that. It's like, oh, and he goes like this with the arm. It's like, oh, and
yeah. She kind of winces and it's just
yeah.
Oh, it's
that's great, man. That's all great stuff. Yeah, and the fact that she makes her own skin is cool. She makes her cat skin, and Batman made his costume. Everyone makes their costumes. Yeah, I don't know. It's awesome. There you go.
So the guys, the comic guys here, when you say that he's not like the Penguin, what's your definition? Like, who is the Penguin to you guys? Like, is it the Colin Farrell Penguin we're seeing now?
No.
So what do you say? Is it because you have the flipper thing going and all that stuff?
Probably the comic he wasn't a creature, and then obviously in the Adam West one he wasn't. He was just Oswald Cobblepot.
Yeah. That's the closest.
More human villain, someone who's going to rob a bank or perform a heist or something. It was the way they made it animalistic in this one is why I think a lot of people, I like this particular one because it did get dirty and gritty for my taste of it. Mm-hmm. I like the other ones, but if you read comics, there's 100 different versions of every character out there. You just kind of find the one you like the best and you go with it. And that's the way I look at it with the Penguin.
Well, they definitely leaned into the animal aspect, not only with Penguin, but with Selena Kyle and Catwoman. Like the whole she has like the nine lives thing where she gets destroyed like 9 times.
Right? Yeah.
They really lean into. They really do lean into the animal aspect. And when Penguin's eating the fish raw, like, what the fuck, man?
That's gross.
I hated that.
He tries to eat the bird, and Selena's like, no.
It's just a fish. I don't actually know what kind it is.
He's so happy to get this fish.
Then
I don't know.
Like in the movie, like somebody should have been like, "Your breath really stinks," like.
Yeah, right. And then you're dead.
Yeah.
That's what does you say that.
He bit a guy's nose off after eating that.
That's still
what I was said.
I know that scene. Yeah. As someone who has a broken nose, I can tell you that hurts.
There's something visceral about like seeing like a biting, like damage from biting from a person. Mm-hmm. Like, you can watch someone get punched in the face, and you're like, okay, whatever. But if someone bites someone's nose off, there's like a primal like fear of that happening to somebody. It's like, ugh, fucking disgusting.
The camera gets up in there too.
Yeah,
like,
it's close.
Over his really well. Ripping someone's nose off in a Batman movie for kids.
This is disgusting.
It's not just the visual, it's the sound.
Shout out to
it's everything.
Shout out to Ron. Haven't seen Ron jamming for
months. It's been a while. Seen him.
You're right. Ron came out of the woodwork for this one, Nolan.
Everyone has. If you can all just keep showing up weekly, that'd be great. Rather than always pull Wolverine here Wolverine here every week. Loyal.
He's loyal.
We actually, Wolverine.
He asked best Batman suit. What's the panel's best Batman suit?
I like the friggin' Affleck one, man. I think that one's pretty cool. That might be
a
liar here.
I like it.
It's pretty badass.
It's Frank Miller-ish for sure.
I like that one.
It looks armored.
My favorite, I think my favorite is probably 89 because that's the one I really grew up with, I guess.
Oh,
But I think
89 is mine. Yeah.
Yeah, 89 or Affleck, man. Affleck one's I think is really cool.
I love
the
Affleck's
utility
one.
belt. Yeah,
Yeah.
the yellow utility belt in 89, the yellow bat symbol right on there. You know,
the symbol wrong. It has an extra point. It pissed me as a kid. I was like, it looks weird. It's not the movie.
It's the movie version.
Batman Returns fixed it. They fixed the symbol, but they gave him that Art Deco. Then that entire movie is like Art Deco, right? So they gave him that grid on his chest, and it's like, that's weird too.
No, 89 to me is still my favorite.
Yeah, probably. Just going back to versus 1989 to 1992. I love them both for very different reasons because they're both very different movies, like visually, tonally, even the score. But unlike Steve, Joker is my favorite villain of all time. I love the Joker. I love Jack Nicholson as my Joker. I know Antoinette will disagree because Antoinette thinks that Heath Ledger's the best Joker. I'm like, Heath Ledger's good, but I don't know. Yeah.
We already know who we don't like, Owen.
Yeah,
as a Joker.
Mark Hamill's probably the best Joker, obviously, in the animated show. But in terms of live action, Jack Nicholson is my Joker. I love him, and also there's just more Batman in this one. That's also Kim Basinger as well. Sorry, but she makes any movie 5 stars. What else? I love Bob, the henchman in the first one.
The greatest henchman besides Al Leong, man. I love him. Jesus.
And I love Jack Palance. Like, you are my number one. God. It's just everything he says is so theatrical. Speaking of which, I watched Hawk the Slayer the other night with him in it. That was good fun.
That's awesome. Well, like somebody mentioned here, the Prince soundtrack in '89 too. I mean, it's its own sound. I love Danny Elfman and the Batman Returns, but Prince was just it, man. And you're as a kid listening to this going, man, this fucking song rocks. I gotta get this cassette.
When they're in the museum fucking up the museum pieces and stuff.
God,
that's perfect.
Dude, I can watch that scene over and over again.
Oh yeah, so good.
Start of the parade and all that, the Prince song starts playing on there. Love it.
But it's also, that's my favorite piece of Batman music is Flight of the Batwing. Whenever he's flying and the Batwing flies up to the moon and makes the bat sign and flies down, and then just the way the theme tune comes in, it's like a militaristic version. I'm just like, fuck yes, it's awesome.
Being 44.
That's also nonsensical. If you stood like this, it wouldn't make sense anymore, right? You just tilted your head, it wouldn't form that anymore.
Yeah, I was the one guy looking at that one time.
Yeah, that one guy's like, oh shit, it made the symbol. But the symbol hadn't been invented. But the symbol hasn't been invented yet. The symbol wasn't invented yet. It was invented at the end of the movie, the bat signal. So that was wrong anyways. Whatever.
It worked. Look, man, when I was sitting in the theater waiting for that scene.
Stop it. I gave this movie 10 out of 10. I've seen it more times than you've ever seen it. So. I saw it 22 times.
He's just mad that he can't watch me on anything.
I'm pretty sure Amanda has seen it more than any of us.
I remember when I was watching it at work.
No, because you were working hard at your desk.
Are the bosses watching right now? Oh, you need to be careful.
They could be. You never know.
I
mean, I have my phone on sometimes. It gets me kind of quiet this week.
She was on her lunch.
And I watched Redline with Mark Dacascos and Rutger Hauer the other day. And I just watched that on my phone. It was awesome. And then people are like asking me things, and I'm like, why are you asking me something? I'm busy here.
It's incredibly busy. Meetings.
Yeah, exactly. So
I wanted to mention the Red Triangle Gang, which I like that his gang is a bit of a cooler gang than Joker's just guys in just leather jackets. I think that makes it a little bit neater with each character. You've got the flame throwing devil guy, and you have all these other cool little characters that are kind of neat that were just like extra guys to be there. And I like that one, the world's fattest man, where he's like killing innocent sleeping babies. Isn't that
my God, I was so
no, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
My favorite line.
Okay, so I have a question, and I want to touch on
more of a suggestion.
Point. I have a suggestion. More like a suggestion. Corn dog. No. So J-Man mentioned that this movie, when there is no violence or action or whatever happening, that it's really great when it comes to just like visuals, right? So I don't know whoever wants to answer, Owen, Charlie, anyone here. So my favorite non-action visual, which I think is a very powerful scene, is when Penguin's bassinet gets thrown over. And like that whole time in the beginning where it's just like him traveling and like the music and everything. So I want to know like anyone else's like non-action favorite scene.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that one's great because it's like visually it's his descent into darkness as well.
It's amazing.
It's just
I get
brilliant.
chills.
Yeah. So that, but one of my favorite non-action scenes, as we've discussed before, Amanda, is whenever they both discover each other's identity when they're dancing.
I was just gonna say that at the gala.
I love that
That's
scene.
tied for my favorite scene.
Yeah. And she looks stunning in that scene as well. I mean, she was dressed and everything. She just looks so amazing. So I love that scene. Definitely. I just love any scene with Selena and Bruce. I love the scene whenever they're on the couch. I love the way she just
that would be my favorite.
Yeah.
Or when they arranged the dinner, we were saying just how stunning she looked, and we were going back and forth about the tabloids and everything. So
no, exactly. So Antoinette, what's your favorite non-action scene? You're awful quiet there. Come out of the show.
The tabloid one. The tabloid one was good when they were like defending themselves. With the newspaper. I love that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like we like the same ones.
Yeah.
Antoinette literally just watched it yesterday. She's stomach 19. She's like, I can't watch it. Sorry.
Antoinette, didn't you make 400 pages of notes here? Like, come on. You didn't memorize the movie in one reviewing.
Actually,
I like when Selena comes back and she's like, and he's like, Selena, and she's like, oh,
Selena. Yeah.
That entire line of dialogue, the Sister Mary Margaret puking in church and Betsy Riley, and then the name of the boy who noticed was Ricky Friedberg. He's dead now. And you're like, what? Wait, shit, is he dead? What happened? Did you kill him? That entire sequence is super funny. Then Max Schreck is like, so I'll throw out a higher window. We got better fish to fry. Let's go. It's like he doesn't even care. He's untouchable.
Like when they're when they do the meetup and then they have to go. Is it the tree lighting ceremony? And then he leaves first and he starts like blabbering to Alfred about like what to say to invent something.
Yeah.
And she's like, can you just say like a sonnet?
Sonnet.
No problem.
Dirty limerick.
I just die.
I love him as Alfred Michael Gough. He's my Alfred. One has just sprung to mind, so I love that. There's just something very gentle about him and sort of grandfatherly, and you believe that he was basically had to raise Bruce after his parents were killed. But I never actually finished the thing in terms of like which film I prefer in terms of Batman and Batman Returns. In terms of the one I watched the most. I'm sorry, Amanda, but I'm going to say Batman 1989. I do love them both, but I don't watch Batman that much anymore because I've almost overwatched it. I've seen it so many times. The one I watched the most is Batman Begins. That's actually my favorite Batman movie because it's about Bruce Wayne and his journey. He is the main character. Joe Chill is the killer. And it's even got lines from like different comic books and everything in it. Like I love the line where Jonathan Crane says, Dr. Crane's not here at the moment, but if you'd like to make an appointment. And I thought that was straight out of the comics. I guess it's a Dark Triumph or Haunted Knights, one of them. Anyway, but that was really cool. But that's why it's my favorite one because like the Dark Knight is about the Joker and Two-Face. It's really Harvey Dent's story. And then the third one is about, Bane. But Wolverine Batman Begins is my favorite of the Nolan flicks. Yeah, see, I knew I liked you, Wolverine. So anyway, there we are. Who else? So, Steve, what about you in terms of Batman versus Batman Returns?
Oh, it's 89 Batman. Sorry, but like, I fell in love with that movie when I saw it in the theater, and I never stopped. I saw that movie. I got it on VHS, watched it, rewound it, rewatched it, like back to back immediately. That movie was magical to me. But it was like you have to. We all talk about this and we're like, oh, you had to grow up in that time period and understand that summer, but you did. Like just the craziness about it was so insane, and just like the anticipation. Like when Jack Nicholson was signed as the Joker, I was blown away. I'm like, what do you mean Jack Nicholson's going to be a Joker? Like Jack Nicholson, the Oscar winner, is going to be the Joker? Are you freaking kidding me? And it happened, and it was amazing. Of course, they did back up a like an armored car to his house and like gave him everything inside of it because it's how you get a guy like Jack Nicholson in that sort of movie. As far as the non-action, it's the gala, but it's for a different reason. I love the fact that neither of them were wearing masks in a masquerade ball. Yeah, I love like just how Michelle Pfeiffer turns around and she's beautiful, and the music hits just as soon as she turns around, and you see their eyes meet, and it helps maybe that Keaton and Pfeiffer were an item at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer was supposed to be Vicky Vale, and Keaton said no because he had a romantic relationship with her. He didn't.
And then he got divorced, and then
They got back together?
No, like he got divorced from his wife.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was trying to get back together with her, and he's like, I don't need that right now. But just her turning around and the music hits, and just I love Michelle Pfeiffer. Like she looks so lost in that scene. She just looks like uncomfortable and lost, and like she finds the one person she can connect with, which is also the person she's been fighting. I love how she's like, do we have to start fighting now? Like,
she's fighting.
I think that shows just how unstable like she was. Comments like that when she starts going with the gun, and Max, and she starts going kind of crazy. Like you see, like really like why she is.
She just breaks, just totally cracks there.
Yeah. No, it's she. I love all the performances, but Michelle Pfeiffer, I think, has to have had the best performance in that movie, hands down, in my opinion. That Catwoman is amazing. So,
yeah. So, Slasher Batman Returns came out during when MC Hammer was still very popular, and during a costume party, you can hear an instrumental version of Super Freak.
That's so true.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I do love the Susie and the Banshees song. It's playing Face to Face whenever they're dancing with each other.
Oh, I love that song. I listen to that a lot too. It's on my playlist.
Me too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So who else? So Jay, Batman. Did you say Batman?
Well, I like them both like equally, but if I have to pick, I like Batman Returns better, I guess, just because I feel like it's more of a cohesive vision of a thing, and I don't like Joker killing the parents. It's just too weird for me. It just weirds me out. And also I like that Batman Returns is just on its own movie. There's an origin of Penguin, but it's completed in the movie. Like you don't need to continue on. It's my Indiana Jones thing. Like whatever you introduce in a movie needs to end in that movie versus like something continuing on later. So I like that it's just one. Like you can watch Batman Returns in any order. You don't have to watch it second, right? Like you have to watch Batman 89 first, right? But then after that, you can watch Batman. You can watch Batman Forever if you want, and then Batman Returns. I guess that technically, if you want to pretend they're in one, I guess they are in one universe. Alfred's the same. So yeah, Batman Returns. I like it more, but I love both movies.
Yeah, I do. There's a reference to Vicky Vale, but I actually love that scene because that's just him, Michael Keaton, just being comedic there, and just like, it's like, oh hey Vic, come on in.
and they do mention the Joker because the city turned Eagle Scouts into crazy clowns. They're like, because Jack Napier was an Eagle Scout. He wasn't a vicious mobster who was like cheating on the boss's wife and trying to undermine him and try to kill him and have the cops under his payroll. No, he was an Eagle Scout.
Yeah.
He stole my balloons. Yeah, why didn't someone tell me
all those things? Those movies were so quotable, though. Like Batman Returns. I mean, there's just so many great lines.
Yeah.
So God, I can barely keep up with all these comments. God, you people need to start showing up like every week. This is great. Rather than like the same person. Yeah, you guys just have to come back more. I think. But right, John, Batman versus Batman Returns. Did you already see that already?
My connection to Batman '89, because again, I was like 16. So I was old enough. Like I remember when Michael Keaton was announced as Batman, and everybody flipped their shit. And I was like, even back then, I say to this day, I'm like, I reserve until I see footage. I go, yeah, they obviously saw something in Michael Keaton to pick him. They just want to be like, yeah, let's just pick, some random actor, Mr. Mom and everything. So I remember when it came out and he made everybody eat crow and everybody was just like, Michael Keaton's awesome. Like, where were you? Like, it's like, he's a great actor. Yeah. He's not just a comedic actor. He knows how to act in movies. He knows how to do it all. And I just remember the excitement over it. Like I was a fan, like growing up in the 70s, and there was some bad stuff going on, which I loved. I love Nicholas Hammond as Spider-Man. I love Red Brown as Captain America. But it's like, it's like if I were to show it to my, the people today, they'd be like, "What the hell is this?" I'm like, you just don't get it.
You should beat them up if they say what the hell.
Well, yeah, but I connect Batman to Superman the movie, and I just remember seeing it at opening night, and like it resonated with me because like Superman the movie, the initial credit scene with John Williams' epic score playing is its own entity, and you just see the music building up, and then you just see the S appear, and it's just like I get chills to this day every time that happens. And I got that same feeling when I was in the theater seeing Batman, and it started playing, and you see the bat symbol, and you hear Danny Elfman's score, and I was just like, yeah, we're in good hands. I'm so, and then just the whole movie. I mean, like Jack Nicholson is like you said, Owen, he's my Joker. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna be in this movie. It's based on a comic book, but you know what? I'm gonna nail the shit out of this MFR. It's like I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right, and nobody's gonna have anything to bitch about because there's nothing to be bitched about in terms of his performance. It just like the sequences, the ending, the finale, and everything. It's Batman '89 for me all the way.
Okay. Charlie, did you say it already?
I kind of did in my breakdown, but I love both of these movies, and I'm like J-Man. I kind of rank them, together. But Batman '89 will always edge it out because that's how it began. Wow. That was, just seeing a different version of Batman that I just absolutely fell in love with. I had the toys, I had the T-shirt, the pajamas, the bed sheets. I fucking was Batman running around, tie a towel around my neck and just go nuts, man. It will always be Batman '89. It was just, there's another Batman. Cool. I want it and I want to watch it. A third one? Hell yeah, I'm in. A fourth one? Arnold's in it? Fuck yes, let's do this. I am down. Let's go. And I will just watch these movies over and over again. I don't believe you can overwatch something. These are a comfort. Not if you love it.
I'm literally gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah,
like while I go to bed.
They're just it's some of the best DC movies ever, and they've yet to prove me wrong. No matter how many more come out, these are my favorite. These are it. We've all said it. This is my Batman, and nothing will ever top these for me. So that's it.
Also, like although I suppose there's the Avengers music, but in terms of like modern theme tunes, there isn't anything that really stands out in terms of like Superman and Danny Elfman's Batman theme tunes. Those are like iconic. You could whistle the Superman theme to most people in the street and they would know what it is. They would associate that with Superman. Well, that's Superman music. But in terms of like most of the Marvel movies, the music was like really disappointing. Like the Avengers theme was great, and that was it. And even the Captain America one was good when it was used, but they kept changing the composers all the time, so there was never one straight thing, and it just was really annoying.
I like Wonder Woman's.
Wonder Woman is the best theme tune in recent times.
That's the best one.
It was unique, and that's what made it stand out among all of the new DC stuff, but it was good. I liked Wonder Woman.
That was your ringtone for ages, Amanda, I remember.
Sorry?
That was your ringtone for ages, wasn't it?
The Wonder Woman? The Wonder Woman, yeah, it's like, I'll have to play it for you.
Yeah.
Daniel Velez talking about the bat symbol being shaved in kids' heads. I remember that. I remember going to school and someone had the bat symbol shaved into the back or in the side of their head, man. This was a wave. Like it was, Batmania. That was a real thing that just took over without social media, without, all the stuff that causes things to go viral now. Batman was just known everywhere. You could go to a random tribe in Africa. You'd be like, show them a picture of the bat symbol. It's Batman. We know who that is. We love that guy. It was global. It's just a phenomenon. It's just amazing. And they try to replicate it now, but somebody just said in here, superhero fatigue. It's real. But I'll never get tired of watching the old Batmans and the old Supermans and stuff like that, man.
Yeah, but maybe I don't think it's superhero fatigue. I think it's shit movie fatigue.
Well, that's very true as well.
Yeah, and also people who just were like kind of fair weather fans, like, oh yeah, they got it. It became a big machine, and then people got excited about it until they didn't get excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have zero superhero fatigue. I go to the comic store. I went this today. I've not missed a Wednesday since 2016. Prior to that, I go all the time. I watch superhero movies all the time. I have zero fatigue. Like, I have fatigue of garbage comic books, like everything Marvel does that doesn't have Wolverine on the title. But anyways,
no, it's fair. I think a lot of people like that's living in the comic world like we do. When you're talking, I think a lot of people talk to superhero fatigue just from based on solely on the movies and TV shows.
Correct.
You know, but if you're a comic collector and reader like we've been for fucking ever, there's ebbs and flow. It's really, really good now, and then it sucks for a little while. Then it's really, really good now, then it sucks for a little while. But I'm never tired of it. I still collect.
Yeah. I mean, superhero fatigue is kind of made up though, because where was the superhero fatigue when Deadpool and Wolverine came out this year and made over $1 billion, and it was awesome.
Right? There's no fatigue there. People saw it like 100 times. I've seen it 7 times, man. Okay, where's your fatigue?
Superhero fatigue is something that Marvel movies comes up with to justify to their investors that no, it's not that our movies are shit. It's that it's the friggin' it's everyone's tired of.
It's the fans who are wrong.
Your movies are shit. Your writing is shit. Your directors are shit. Your actors are shit. Everything you're making right now is garbage, and you're trying to justify to your investors why it's not those actual things. Don't believe your eyes, everyone. Don't believe it. Everything is fine. It's just these stupid comic nerds that are taking things out of proportion and making it what it's not. That's all it is. It's
whatever. The excuse changes per movie, and then there's like a Rolodex of excuses, and they just flip it, and then oh shit, yeah, it's nobody likes.
Pretty much.
It's like nobody likes female superheroes except for Wonder Woman, which did really well. Oh, and Barbie, which did like $1 billion. And that's a female-driven thing. So it's like it's such a stinking lie. It's like
Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is huge shit. Yeah.
Everyone likes Wonder. So whatever.
Yeah, that's bullshit. God, still comes here. Brendan, did you say which one you prefer to Batman?
I like both of them, but '89 has a more of like an emotional connection to me because I still remember, like vividly in my head, the VHS tape because that was what 6. I'd have been 6 at the time when '89 came out. So I remember it on the top of my parents' fridge. '89. I'm like, what is Batman? What is this Batman movie? And I was like, let's go watch it. And so
obviously there's like Arnie there.
That was Batman movie. Watch the movie now. Come on, give me the movie now. Release it now. Now, put it in the tape here.
Good damn it, video.
No, they're both great movies. I think Warner Brothers took such a big gamble with Batman '89 because everything was so campy leading up to that. Yeah. All the Battle of Batman, all the superhero movies, they're all campy. Like you have your Christopher Reeve Superman, great movies obviously, but they're very like traditional comic. When Batman '89 came out, it was dark, it was freaking grimy, it was off the walls, like really totally different from what the actual audience used to see. So they took a real big gamble, and the fact that it paid off gave us something as great as Batman Returns. Like they gave the studios the confidence in Tim Burton to actually make the movie that he wants to make, just by how much positive reception that Batman '89 had.
Right, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Actually, just Slasher Fred there saying Batman was such a huge success. No, wait, that's not what it was. Sorry, it was Wolverine. He says, I'm not a fan of Batman Robin as an adult, but the Bruce and Alfred moments still get me in the feels. And I was like, because whenever he's like, I love you, old man. And he's like, and I love you. You think he's going to die? And like, no.
It's sort of ruined when he's like, Alfred is dying, and then he smiles. I'm like, so...
Yeah, that's why I hated Clooney as that he just kept sort of smiling all the time. Why are you smiling all the time?
He's just like, very happy.
Yeah, Alfred's dying. Okay. Actually, in fairness, I think Val Kilmer actually wasn't bad. I thought he was quite good at doing the moody Batman and everything. So like I really enjoyed it. If anything, I thought the weakest part of that movie was actually. We're back. Amanda's dying. Okay. I've totally lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Your favorite part was
the weakest part.
The weakest part. Sorry.
You liked Val Kilmer as Batman.
Oh, Batman, yeah. The weakest part was actually Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, because he was just basically being the Joker, and he wasn't really being.
I agree with that. I love the look of him, but
he looked great, but
so was the Riddler, though, man.
He was just acting like Tommy Lee Jones in like Under Siege, and then any other freaking insane role he had to play. But Jim Carrey as the Riddler, when it was the world of Jim Carrey. When he was like everywhere and him being cast as the Riddler as a kid, I was like, fuck yes.
I love him as the Riddler.
I liked him as the Riddler too. I liked him.
I'm not Frank Gorshin. Yeah, me and Jamie are talking about
he's exactly like Frank Gorshin.
Yes, and Frank Gorshin is awesome but everyone is campy in that show. That's the Riddler's riddles are nonsense, and everyone can solve them in 3 seconds. And they point to his name, which Batman could have found by saying, "Hey, didn't I just speak to this whack job like 5 minutes ago at Wayne Tower, at Wayne Tech or whatever?" It's like, oh yeah, it's him. Oh, there you go. That's the worst of the Batman movies, but we can save that for another stream. I still watch it 100 times and I memorize most of it. But
J-Man, I've watched that movie 110 more times than you ever.
Well, I'm going to watch it 15 times tonight to beat
while you're watching Batman Returns.
We're going to have a watch off
forever. Let's do it.
We're going to watch.
We'll have a little counter going off every time we click it. We'll have a live stream.
No, but Tommy Lee Jones is pooped in that too. It's like he flips the coin 14 times. It's like, no. You flip it once to decide, and then you decide that. He flips it. It's like, oh, and then he flips it again. I was like, you've destroyed that character. The thing is, the other characters, even though they're goofy in the other movies, don't destroy the fundamentals of the character. Like Mr. Freeze is goofy and says a lot of stupid one-liners. Yeah, but he's still upset over the death of his wife's disease or whatever. Poison Ivy still wants to have Mother Nature rule. Like, the characters fundamentally aren't destroyed, but when Riddler's riddles don't mean anything, and the coin flip doesn't have any consequences, then that's not the villain anymore. That's not the character.
You could have done it where he just did a single coin flip throughout the movie, but let that like final time be the one time he goes, "I'm gonna flip it again." It just kind of be like, like the ultimate fuck you to Batman or something.
Sure, but
just one time, but not the multiple times he does in the movie.
Yeah, and he falsifies it. He flips it, and he's like, "Oh, I thought you said let me live." Well, yeah, nothing better than live bait to catch a bat. I'm like, then why did you flip it? Like, I don't understand. What would a dead body, like, if it came up wrong, you would have killed him, and then Batman wouldn't have come to rescue him because he's dead. So you had to keep him alive. So the coin flip, they were movie logic. I don't like it.
Shoehorning that in just because he was Two-Face. Yeah. And I will say, as much as I love, the Jim Carrey, I never really cared for the box angle of
it's nonsense.
It's totally nonsense. Now I love it's fucking neon as shit and it looked amazing as a kid. But it just didn't make a whole lot of sense for a Batman villain to be that fucking megamaniacal. It should have been a little bit more brought down just a hair, but
he drops But hold on, Nicole Kidman I love Nicole Kidman. Yeah. I own many, but she is absolutely horrendously awful. You went from Vicky Vale, who was, okay, to Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer, who's a damn awesome, amazing. Like she's a dream. And you went to Nicole Kidman and she's the worst. She's a doctor. This woman is not a doctor. She's like, "Oh, Batman, you're so sexy. I love the leather." It's like, what is happening here? This is not, I would not pay for any kind of psychological treatment from this woman. She's obviously insane.
It's a car, right?
She's absolutely terrible in that movie. And I love Nicole Kidman. I have many of her films. I have her shirt. I have a shirt of her from that movie in anticipation of her being in that movie. I walked out, I was like, what in the hell? What was that all about? Anyway, sorry.
So I actually bought the poster of her because I remember seeing 100,000.
It's in your basement, yeah.
And then it ripped, and then I went back and rebought it again. So I love
that one where she's slightly like bent down.
Yeah, the problem with that movie, Charlie, is that it's 2 frigging movies, and Val Kilmer got a different script than everyone else.
Yeah, he's normal.
He's like, mega into it, and like my shattered childhood and the dreams I keep having. I'm like, Riddler's asking Two-Face how to punch someone. Like, what?
Yeah.
And like Robin's parents are destroyed. They're lying there dead. They pan up, and Robin's like, "Oh, it should have been you. It should have been." It's like this. I was like, "Are you guys? You didn't read this full script, did you? Just read your parts and thought you're continuing from Tim Burton's movie. You didn't realize the rest of it was jokey."
Yeah, it was crazy.
That'd be
Yeah, that was
hilarious
the thing.
if that was intentional. That would be so funny if that's what production did. They did screw up the scripts. And they're like, let them rip.
No,
And
they
that's
deliberately
what-
made it lighter though because of all the complaints that Batman Returns had.
Yeah, they did.
And it was too dark. So they're like, we got to make
Yeah.
it more campy and bring in the kiddies so we can sell toys. And even Joel Schumacher said that. He was like, yeah, Warner Brothers told me they wanted to sell toys, so that's why we
Yeah,
just made it
all
colorful
toys.
again.
It's all about the toys.
It got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 2 Secret of the Ooze, treatment.
Oh,
the first
God,
one
what a
was way
disaster
too
that is.
violent. We got to tone it down to where we're not even going to fucking use our weapons that are
Right. They don't have weapons.
Use Cabas as nunchucks.
I got a yo-yo. I got a.
Remember that? Do you remember that really awesome? It's like one of the best ninja movies ever. What was it? The one where they don't use their weapons? No, you don't remember that movie because nobody would watch it. If the ninjas don't have their weapons, there's no point.
They're not ninjas.
They're not
Not
ninjas.
ninjas.
Raph doesn't yell "damn" 3 times in the movie. This sucks. I want my first one back.
Yeah, the first one's a masterpiece.
Anyway, going back to Batman versus Batman Returns. So
Okay.
there was a poll on YouTube, which Amanda's not going to like the results to. So, but she used to have been out. So Batman wins by an overwhelming majority.
Ooh,
I forgot to vote, and it's that good.
Yeah, they go back.
Yeah, but people
See, every vote counts.
yeah. No, people voting for this are just voting for 89 is a classic, it's the best and whatever. I don't think I know we're thinking about it a bit more and saying, well, I kind of like 89 more because of whatever reason you have, and you feel like the Joker more. He's obviously awesome in that movie, but I don't want to say generic people, but normies just voting like, oh yeah, well, 89 is a classic. Yeah, 89 is way better. It's not really they're not actually thinking about it, where I have to think which one do I actually like better? Which one is a better,
which one do
actually
I watch more?
thinking about which one do you watch more?
No,
The power of Prince. Yeah. The power of Prince compels you. Vote.
I remember the Batman Forever soundtrack. I mean,
yes.
I have it.
Everyone knows, "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal, and it was
awful.
It really is when you listen to it now. You're like, wow, we really played the shit out of this one.
No, you did. I bought that cassette tape.
Yeah.
And this is before I knew what a score and what a soundtrack was, the difference, because I buy all of these soundtracks. I bought that, thought, wait, where's the actual good music on here? I'm like, it's just a bunch of crap on here.
And then the music was crap anyway in Batman Forever, because they changed the score and they're like, what the hell is this? Where's Danny Elfman's music? And I could never forgive those movies. And then I remember whenever Nolan came along, I was like, oh good, is he going to bring back the theme tune? And then it was the Hans Zimmer thing, and I was like, oh, it's just a noise. I was like, oh, okay.
and then the new Batman soundtrack is just horn.
It's just the Imperial March.
It's just
Anyway,
but nothing's happening when it's going on. They're just standing in the dark.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, nothing's happening. Stop pretending it's happening.
It's so dark. Anyway, Amanda, you had some trivia about Batman Returns.
I did, but we talked about almost everything. There was we didn't talk about how Catwoman, the whipping hats mannequin scene.
Yeah,
she did that in
one take. Yeah.
Yeah, and the awesome. Crew and everything, they applauded her and everything because they were so impressed. One that you told me was how much they paid for that final scene that actually wasn't in the original script of Batman Returns, where he goes and sees the cat. The final scene they paid. Owen, do you remember?
I didn't tell you that. I think you must have read that on Google.
$250,000 or something extra to her or Michelle Pfeiffer or something for that last scene.
Oh, to have her appear so that she's not dead, because that would have been a downer, right? That was a last minute addition, and they paid something crazy just for that final scene, $250,000 or $500,000 for that.
Why couldn't you get the stunt woman to do it? You barely see her face. Just get any stunt person to be in the cat suit.
But I think there's effects there, or there's some weird animation in these movies. Even in the first one where Batman is standing on the roof and then turns and walks, that's animated. There's weird. So maybe it wasn't Michelle Pfeiffer, but just the cost of the production of that last.
Yeah, maybe
that makes more sense.
Well, we know there was actual actors who were the penguins bringing Penguin down. A lot of people thought that was fake, but it wasn't. Meryl Streep. How do you say that?
Meryl Streep.
How do you say that
Meryl
name?
Streep. Meryl Streep,
She
yeah.
wanted to audition
It's just
to
the greatest
be.
actress of all time. It's okay.
She wanted to be. She wanted to do Catwoman audition, but Tim Burton thought that she was a little bit too old
Oh, dry.
to
Ageism.
be Catwoman. Yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong. Even though she
But
would,
she would have been great though.
she would have acted the
I mean,
shit out of it.
It's Meryl Streep. I mean, she,
They could have cast her as Penguin, and it would have been like
It would have been great.
Could have been a female
how old
Max
was she
Shrek. Should have
at
been
the time?
Maxine Shrek.
At the
Maxine
time,
Shrek.
she might have been in her 40s then, maybe, I think.
Somewhere
Because
around there.
Michelle
Yeah,
Pfeiffer
like
was
Michelle
only
Pfeiffer was
in
like
her
in her prime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
so-
was
Yeah,
just
she was in
absolute
her
best.
40s. You're right.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and then we talked about, I don't know who mentioned about Catwoman being in her like super tight Catwoman suit, like they like vacuumed her in. She couldn't do the scenes for long periods of time.
Wild.
Yeah,
What
imagine.
about
It's like,
that? Good lord. That's
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer was 30 when Batman Returns.
Yeah. That's what
30?
it was.
Okay.
Almost
30.
over the hill. Almost
Yeah.
over the hill.
That close. That close.
In
you're
Hollywood,
under the hill. You're fine. The only one who's under the hill here.
well,
Because
Anthony has
I
so many-
was. Sorry, when was Batman 1989? What month was it released?
Probably
November.
June.
June, yeah.
Okay, so literally it was released on like I was born. Batman and I were born on the same month. So
Okay, so have we ever seen you and Batman in the same room together? No, we haven't. No.
yeah.
Yeah, but Batman would have been 1 year old though.
you gotta train young. Yeah.
No,
Gotta start
zero.
Zero
And
years.
Antoinette
Zero.
was just a thought.
Yeah.
Amanda, do you have
Oh,
anything
yeah.
about Sean Young in your trivia?
Oh yeah.
I don't. I got to the end of my
Somebody
my
mentioned
page
it.
because I had like my favorite scenes. I got so much shit written here.
Did you say your
No, I
favorite
did not.
scenes? We said our favorite non-action scenes. What?
Oh yeah, well it was a tie between the two mistletoe scenes when they like,
Yeah.
reiterate and they find out the reveal, and then Antoinette's favorite scene is my second favorite scene where Catwoman.
Yeah,
Selena
she
to
like comes
Catwoman.
home and she's like drinking all the
Just-
milk.
yeah, just
and,
goes
like,
crazy.
Yeah, I was just going crazy.
And then
That's such a
Batman
fantastic scene.
goes to Max. I love that. Then scene.
Sorry, we're trying to look for the charger before the laptop dies.
yeah.
All right,
I wanted to say something about Max Shrek. He does have one redeeming quality, which is he loves his son,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
the one positive thing where he's like, oh, I don't want. He goes, oh, take me instead. Where he convinces Penguin to take him instead of Chip.
Yeah.
And he says the power plant is for Chip and all that. So that's kind of cool.
Even though the power plant is draining power from Gotham.
Well, it's stockpiling it so then he can sell it back. Or,
Yeah.
Earth plus power, Bruce. There's no such thing. You know.
yeah. Shame on you.
And then it's the power that kills him at the end. It's the literal power running through his
Yeah.
city.
Yeah, I
That's
love
the
that.
point.
There was a
Right.
script for this movie. Who wrote this?
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, there's a reason why we're still talking about these movies, like nearly 30 years later, because they just stand up. It's like the original Christopher Reeve Superman movies. Like we still watch them, we still talk about them because both of them paved the way for the superhero genre these days, where there's something new all the time. I mean, did we ever think that we'd get to see like a Deadpool and Wolverine movie? Just going back to that.
Hell no. Not that.
Years ago, and getting to see Wolverine actually in his costume. And that was the thing which we talked about before, is that like so many movies apologize for like being superhero movies. It's like, oh well, that costume looks a bit silly, so let's make it look more grounded, like they did with the X-Men movies, where everyone's like in the black leather costume.
Yeah, the first ones.
Yeah, and they're like, what would you prefer? Yellow spandex? I'm like, actually, yes, because that's the way the character was designed. So.
Yeah, this movie, they are the costumes. If everyone know, you're like, yeah, you're not going to confuse the Penguin for somebody else. X-Men, if they didn't have their heads, you wouldn't know who anybody is.
Yeah.
It's like, is that Wolverine or Cyclops? I don't know. It's like, we'll just pan up. Oh yeah, he's got the visor. Oh, it's Cyclops. It's like, okay, but like, surely you can make them unique. That's the point. The point of the X-Men is that each guy is unique and individual, but they come together for a greater good or whatever. That's the point of X-Men. Like, anyway.
Yeah, which they didn't really get anyway. So,
no.
Does anybody else have anything else they want to mention about Batman Returns, or?
Yeah, I'll just talk about the Sean Young part. So Sean Young wanted when Annette Bening had to drop out because she was pregnant. Sean Young wanted the role of Catwoman and actually appeared in a homemade Catwoman at Warner Brothers Studios. Tim Burton hid under his desk because obviously he thought Sean Young was nuts. No. And he made Michael Keaton and one of the producers. She didn't get the part.
There's a talk show, I forget which one it is that she's on, where she basically talks about that, loses her fucking mind.
Yeah.
Like crawls up on his desk.
Yes.
And it's just, like, I like Sean Young. I mean, she was in, I love Firebirds, one of my favorite movies.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner is amazing. Yeah. But to hear how fucking insane, like Margot Kidder insane is how bad she got for this. I love Margot Kidder, but she lost her shit. Okay. Oh, yeah. But Sean Young was like knocking on the back door. I mean, she was right there. Exactly.
That's like one of my favorite shots of the movie, though, because it's just pure heroism. He's just sitting there, and it's like, here's the call to action. Will he take it? Of course he will. He's just been waiting for it. Like you said, J-Man, it's just like he waits to be Batman. And
I was going to say, it's exactly what J-Man said. He's not doing anything till it's time to be Batman.
Right.
He's not running Wayne Foundation. He's not doing the day-to-day business. He's just, well, there's somebody fucking call. Like,
is there a Batman?
Yeah, that's one that what I kind of hated about what they did with the Flash. Those kind of films kind of a mess. I know we kind of enjoyed it mostly because of Keaton scenes in it, but then but then they turned it sort of a little goofy as well with like the fight scene and the spaghetti in the kitchen and all that sort of stuff. It was kind of a bit sort of goofy that way, and I was like, it didn't look or feel like Tim Burton's Batman world or anything. It just looked more like Zack Snyder's. Unfortunately,
we don't know how to do what those guys did, so here's close enough, and that it just didn't work. The only reason it sells is because it's fucking Michael Keaton, because he's Batman. That's the only reason it sells. That is the Batman.
Yeah. Have you watched?
Or is it just Batman?
Yeah, Amanda, did you ever watch The Flash? When was it last year?
I don't. Did I watch it? I don't even remember. Probably not.
I know. Well, you had remembered it, I'm sure, because Michael Keaton back in it as Batman. So we'll do a Batman night, and you and I.
Were we supposed to?
Yeah, I can't remember. I think you were away or something. So, but we'll have more Batman nights because we need to educate Antoinette and the Bat. I think so. A bunch of stuff we'll need to watch. We'll have to get to watch Batman.
We're birthing her into Batman. Okay. Like, one thing at a time. We just know she can't go older than Batman Returns. She couldn't even stomach Batman.
Baptized by the bat. That's how this is going to work.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. So next week we're going to be discussing the 2024, the year in action. So we're going to be going over like the various highs and lows of this year. And thank you, J-Man, for the always awesome graphic. So yeah, we'll go over that. I don't know if it's the last one of the year. It might be, but a part of me kind of wants to talk about End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger because it takes place around New Year. If anybody wants to join me for that, then you can. Or I could just talk to myself. I do usually. So anyway, Jay, I saw something. Aren't you doing a versus soon?
Yes, this Sunday special. Well, Friday is Earth's Mightiest Fridays, which is we talk about Avengers every Friday. But then this Sunday special time and special versus. We're doing Red Sonja versus Hundra. And no, we're not basing it on Schwarzenegger's in the first week, so it's automatically better. We're basing it on the actual movie, which one you think is better. Two female warrior characters. We're going to see which movie is better. We're doing it my way, which is the space versus way. So that's going to be on Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time on my channel. The link to my channel is in the description of this video, plus all the other videos or other live streams that we do on Action Elite. So there you go.
And thank you to everybody for commenting. Please come back.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, girls, you can come back anytime you like. We'll come up with something.
Thank you, guys.
Sorry for not being helpful.
No, oh my God, you were amazing.
Yeah, so congratulations, Antoinette, on your first live stream. So did you enjoy it, and would you do another one?
I loved it. Yeah, I had a blast. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. So, I'll try and think of something. Amanda, what do you think she would like in terms of like a future one for us to talk about? Maybe something more recent.
To think about. We have to ask
a rom-com.
No. Yeah, not on this channel.
With violence.
Not here, Steve. Yeah. Hold on.
Kickboxer. You guys already did that.
We've already done Kickboxer. Yeah, we need to do a Van Damme. She's probably not seen any Van Damme movies.
What?
Van Damme?
No.
Jean-Claude?
Oh my god! Oh,
Where's that?
wow.
So start with Derailed, and then it'll just go better from there.
Yeah, I think yeah.
I like the way you're thinking there, Jay, man.
Yeah, because I've been wanting to do
Van
Derailed
Damme,
for a
what
while.
is that?
So yeah, in the new year we'll do Derailed at some point, because that's like pretty much his worst movie. So I think that should be fun. Yeah, well, we'll think up something anyway. We'll think up something to have you on again and tonight anyway. And Amanda, if there's Tony Jaa's new film might be out here, if that gets released in the next couple of weeks, we'll do a little stream on that.
Right.
Because of course he took us out for dinner that time, so that would be a good chat. There's 10 comments here. Let's just not wind it up just yet. What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, that was me posting all of our links to our
God,
various
yeah.
platforms.
But there's still more comments. Like people are still going.
Oh yeah.
It did have a plot. Stop it, Jack Burton.
Yeah, is the check still in the mail, Jack? We've never talked about The Long Kiss Goodnight. Oh, maybe that would be a good one for the girls to watch, because badass female lead Gina Davis. Long Kiss Goodnight. It's from the 90s. Gina Davis and Samuel L. Jackson. And Gina Davis is a housewife with amnesia, and then she remembers that she was an assassin. And it's like totally badass. So,
and it's a Christmas movie too.
And it's a Christmas movie, so maybe we could.
And it's based on a true story.
We love a true story.
No housewife has ever been hit on the head and then thought to it.
I know plenty of housewives who do
We have no fucking idea because we never watched it.
I'm gullible.
No, the word gullible is not in the dictionary. It's really weird. I don't know why they never included it.
Oh, really? Why not?
No.
Hold on.
Fuck you.
we both did a thing at the same time.
Oh man.
No. Anyway, we'll finish up there. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Brennan, Amanda, and Antoinette for joining us this week, and
Thanks, everyone.
and everyone for commenting. Please return to comment again, because nobody ever does, except Wolverine. Shout out to Wolverine.
He's always here.
He's our boy.
Great man. That's our dude.
Yeah, he's the king. And join us next week for discussing the and the director's cut of Barbie. Yeah, there we go. So if you have been watching, remember, thank you, and you are the Action Elite.